Siona God, hello all, good afternoon, and Wado, thank you for watching. So this is day 29 of Transformation of America, the True Life Story of the CIA Mind Control Slave by Kathy O'Brien with Mark Phillips. And we are into chapter 8 of Kathy's story, and I'm going to tell you, because she's wrapping up her training in that, it's just going to get like way worse from here on out. I mean, it was already unimaginable, but whew, all right. Take breaks when you need to, and these are 10 minutes or less. So anyway, when we were not traveling, I began each day at 4 a.m. with a minimum of 2 hours aerobic exercise. Afterward, I tended farm animals and did other chores, then cooked Houston a large country breakfast with which neither Kelly or I were permitted to share. Houston would then order me to work to exhaustion on his 100-acre farm while he watched. These chores included hauling, stacking, and feeding out hundreds of bales of hay to our livestock each year, maintaining miles of electric fencing, cutting acres of grass with a push mower, an average of twice weekly, busting concrete with a sledgehammer and mixing and pouring new cement, digging by hand, and maintaining a 2-acre vegetable garden for canning, cutting, hauling, and stacking firewood for Houston, his neighbors and friends, shoveling pickup truckloads of creek gravel to fill in enormous potholes, the gravel road leading to 11 rural residences, including Jack Green's, and anything else Houston could think of that would wear me down. Houston's exhaustive slave-driving work orders made my father's seem benevolent in comparison. The best of days were rough. I ate like a bird, B-Y-R-D, following Bird's orders of 300 calories per day. With no sugar or caffeine, my metabolism was low. I was trained to compute calories like a machine, eating more like a rabbit than a bird. I had to count every calorie from a simple taste of what I had to cook for Houston to seaman. Houston ensured that Kelly and I never got more than 2 consecutive hours of sleep per night. He accomplished this through automatic mental alarm clocks that woke us up at 2-hour intervals, Kelly with asthma and me with panic. These tactics contributed to Kelly's and my total inability to resist mind control. Traveling in the country music industry was no easier than existing on a Houston's farm in Tennessee. It certainly lacked the glamour that outsiders usually associate with entertainment industries. CIA covert drug operations had permeated the industry. Entertainers were used to buy, sell, and distribute cocaine brought into the country by the U.S. government for the purpose of funding the Pentagon's and CIA's black budgets. Nashville's local government, from my perspective, was totally corrupted by these criminal covert operations. Cover up murder, drugs, and white slavery prevailed. Entertainers usually made it big only when they participated in CIA operations and or were slaves themselves. So think about that. In the music industry, right? They only made it big if they participated in CIA operations and or were slaves themselves. I know of numerous entertainers in need of rescue and deprogramming from their mind-controlled existence, because it was discovered that voices could be harmonically tuned through mind control to captivate audiences. To quote my father, spies, like singers and actors, are made, not born. These entertainers have endured much of the same programming as I to permit them to carry out government operations in the course of their travels. Norwegian Caribbean Lines, NCL, cruise ships depart regularly from Miami, Florida, and travel throughout the Caribbean and Mexico. NCL provides pleasure cruises to the public, complete with entertainment, like that of Alex Houston, while carrying out CIA operations. Sue Carper, former director of entertainment and procurement for all NCL cruise ships, would ensure that government covert activity staging were properly orchestrated. She rotated entertainers like Houston from ship to ship in order to avoid the scrutiny of clean U.S. Customs and Immigrations inspectors. I routinely took cruises with Houston muling cocaine and or heroin out of Haiti, the Bahamas, Mexico, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico to fund covert operations, while I was robotically carrying out transactions as ordered. I was also prostituted to South and Central American drug lords and politicians, as well as filmed pornographically. Houston made sure I was in the right place at the right time and switched me into the proper mode for each activity I was forced to carry out. In the early 1980s, this included passing messages to and from Senator Byrd, Baby Doc Duvalier, Duvalier, my Cuban contact, Puerto Rican drug lord Jose Busto, Busto, and others. In keeping with NCL's Caribbean operations, Byrd adjusted his use of programming themes to include the mirror reversal interdimensional air water mind control theme used on me by NASA and the Jesuits. I often saw dolphins playing in the ocean while being transported from port to port via the cruise ships, but the popular whales and dolphins mind control theme was avoided in favor of a theme more suitable to my experience, that of the sea bird, B-I-R-D, but it was because of Robert C. S-E-A, right? But the letter C for his initial, bird, B-Y-R-D. It's always a play on words. He told me Atlantis has long been the epicenter of alien activity. The path is so well worn that there are holes in the fabric of time and space whereby airplanes and ships, even people, timelessly seemingly disappear, transformed into another dimension alien to this world. Likewise, we aliens came in, entering through the mirror reflection of the hole in the fabric of space, the deep blue sea. Some of us entered Earth's plane as whales and dolphins, and when we emerged from the sea, some of us came flying out. Or is that in? At any rate, we are here watching for the flying fish. When you are out to sea, like sea as in look, / S-E-A, when you see one, you will know it is kin to me. A flying fish by any other name is a sea bird, using bird's initials, right? A sea bird, Robert C. Bird. The drug business was booming for the CIA, and the only war on drugs I witnessed was that launched by the CIA against its competition. As quickly as I brought the NCL suitcases of drugs into the port of Miami, they were usually transferred to Houston's factory custom-built Holiday Rambler motorhome. Concealed compartments were built into the walls for hiding the illegal drugs. If I drove the drug-filled motorhome onto Nashville rather than deposit the drugs en route in Warner Robins Air Force Base in Macon, M-A-C-O-N, Macon. I know that. Macon. I was thinking of Macron, but anyway, Macon, Georgia. Macon bacon. Anyway, the bulk was stored in the Hendersonville Mormon Food Storage, Bishop's Warehouse. Right? They have them big old food caches in case of like the apocalypse and whatnot. Anyway, some cocaine was delivered to a music distributor in Nashville, Tennessee, where it was carefully packaged in participating entertainers' cassettes for delivery along their carefully scheduled travel routes. Houston always kept a large amount of the cocaine for his own use and distribution. Oftentimes he ordered that I deliver the drugs to specific entertainers at the Grand Ole Opry and or at the local shopping mall when we were not traveling. Most often, however, the larger loads of drugs remained concealed in the motorhome for distribution with CIA drug drops while we traveled the country music industry. These CIA drug drops included an abandoned amusement park near Youngstown, Ohio, Diamond Caverns Campground in Park City, Kentucky, a Swiss Villa Amphitheater in Lampe, L-A-M-P-E, Missouri. I was aware that tons of drugs were being handled via our military, but the hundreds of pounds I muled were targeted for exclusive private distribution. An example of a typical Caribbean drug operation centered around the NCL port of Call, Key West, Florida. Houston took Kelly and me to a nearby tennis court under the guise of playing tennis. In reality, I was to meet with CIA operative Jimmy Buffett, who devoted more time to the proliferation of CIA criminal covert activity than he did his music career cover. Buffett was playing tennis, referring to him as though he were to be my tennis instructor. Houston said there's your instructor. As soon as he gathers the balls, he should be over here to meet you. Noticing us, Buffett strode over and shook hands with Houston. Hi, Jimmy, Houston said, as though they were old buddies. Hi, Alex and Elmer. Buffett responded sarcastically using Houston's stage name. Oh, Houston said, never want... I'm getting to the end. I'm like, I'm finished. I want to be done. Oh, Houston said, never one to know an insult when he heard it. He continued, what do your friends call you? What does it matter to you? Buffett asked. Uncle calls me Jim. I take it you're not the contact. Houston pointed to me. She is. That's more like it, Buffett smiled. A little bird told me I'd be meeting with a diamond in the rough. I prefer a diamond in the buff, he said. I've got a studio across the street. As we walked toward his studio, I was oblivious to the meaning behind his conversation with Houston and commented, I understand you're an instructor. I wish I had brought my racket. I'm not that kind of an instructor, Buffett said. I'm a point man for uncle, and you've got an appointment with me. I have some instructions to give you. As we entered in the studio, he said, welcome to paradise, and gestured me in. We went into the small living quarters, which may have appeared even smaller due to the electronic equipment, acoustic guitars, and furniture that filled the room. A black mirrored coffee table, atypical of cocaine users I'd known, was the clearest spot in the room. A gold razor blade, cocaine residue, and ashtray full of marijuana roaches, and a fan deck of cards, I guess, let's say, with the Queen of Hearts on the top lay on the table. Tropical plants further cluttered the room. Standing between a perched stuffed parrot and a banana tree, Buffett was saying, Key West is a key place to be. It's the key to the Caribbean. Cuba, Panama, any place that means anything to Uncle these days. I hold the keys. I'm the keeper of the keys, and I hold a few of yours. Looking at his parrot, he continued, the bird, which is bird, says you respond to paradise. Look deep into the parrot eyes. So we'll finish this chapter tomorrow and get into the next one. Then to go honey, gigi, you and a good chance. Tell me again, love you, Mina.